Hey guys, before the video starts, like and subscribe for more content, okay? Thank you, have a good one, enjoy the video. Well, hello there, how you guys doing? Happy New Year's! It's your boy, back with some more Forgotten Anime Heroes. This time, we're talking about my boy, forgotten by time and space right now, until now, Ginta Toramizu from Mar Heaven. Anyway, Ginta, who is he, what does he do, how powerful he is? Let's talk about it right now. Ginta is a strange boy, a boy of flights of fancy. He always thinks about fantasy, being the hero, saving the day, fighting the dragon, saving the princess, always talking to his best friend Koyuki, who may or may not be his love interest, best friend, possible future wife, who knows at this point. Anyway, Ginta is a young high school boy who always wants to be the hero. His mother is a fantasy author, so that basically equates to it, and his father is a man full of adventure. Now, one day, while he is going to school with his best friend slash possible waifu, he encounters a gate in his classroom. A gate that leads to a new fantasy world that he's been dreaming about for the past 100 times. Mar Heaven. In it, he will find his destiny, his future, and his true self. Now, my boy Ginta here, he's physically weak. You know, he has poor eyesight, bad strength, speed, agility, durability, and stamina. The man's a grade A nerd, alright? And here's the thing, right? He even has poor grades, so he's like not even a nerd, he's just kind of a loser, you know? But like, he has a good heart, and he's loyal, he's kind, he's true. But on Earth, he's bullied a lot by a lot of people, and the only one really on his side are his mother, the fantasy author, and his best friend Koyuki, who may or may not still be his wife. And also, he had another friend when he was younger, but she did die, and Ginta blames himself for not being able to find her in the hospital before she died. And that guilt has stayed with him this entire time, and it still scars him to this day. But here's the thing, Ginta is no longer weak when he ends up in Mar Heaven. See, in the land of fantasy, he becomes a modern day John Carter of Mars. He's faster, stronger, tougher. He no longer needs his glasses anymore. He can actually see like 20/20 vision. Heck, maybe even stronger, like 25/25 or something. He's 10 to 15 times physically stronger and faster and tougher than anyone there. The man can destroy solid stone and concrete with his bare fists. He can lift giant metal objects like someone was lifting a freaking like golf ball, okay? The man is strong and tough now. And because of that, he becomes more confident in himself. Heck, he becomes more confident in who he is and what he can actually do now. When it comes to appearance-wise, Ginta is not necessarily a unique catch. Here's the thing, right? He is stereotypical as anime protagonists come. Like, he has the spiky blonde hair, the, shirt with no sleeves, tank top with no sleeves, the regular protagonist pants, maybe a chain on the pants or two. He's not necessarily standing out when it comes to looks, right? He does have a little bit of a ponytail in the back, so that makes him stand out just a little bit. But when it comes to look department, he doesn't really stand out. When he's on Earth, he just looks the same, but with glasses and like a baggy shirt to make him look more nerdy. But yeah, his appearance-wise, he's stereotypical for a shonen protagonist. Not as stereotypical for an isekai protagonist, because he is one as well. But for a shonen protag, he is stereotypical when he looks to it. Now, Ginta's journey in the world of Mar Heaven has its ups and downs. See, he gets embroiled in a plot to destroy the entire world, or conquer, or both. See, he ends up encountering a girl named Snow in Mar Heaven. She looks exactly like his best friend waifu, Koyuki. Now, he has to protect her due to him being such a nice, good guy. And also, the fate of everything is in his hands. In his journey, he also comes upon several friends that he gains along the way. Jack, a farmer boy whose father has participated in a war in Mar Heaven a long time ago. A witch named Dorothy, who may or may not be a frenemy type person who's in love with Ginta. And as well as a guy named Nanashi, who may or may not be from another anime. when he got defeated, and then he was just ported there. Hint, hint, he's from Flame of Recca, so that's one heck of a thing. Now, in order to protect Koyuki, the princess of Mar Heaven, he has to fight against a deadly chess game, where it's a battle tournament, where two sides, marked by chess pieces, fight each other, knight versus knight, bishop versus bishop, rook versus rook, that sort of thing. And then later on, other pieces will be able to fight different other pieces when they're eliminated in such a tournament. Now, Ginta himself is actually connected to the tournament. Spoilers, his father, the one who is missing, right, actually competed before in Mar Heaven in the tournament of the chess pieces, and he basically won/lost. It's kind of complicated how it happens, but ultimately he did lose. Yeah, that's as much as I can say. And that's why he's missing, and that's why Ginta ends up in Mar Heaven today, due to the fact that he has to finish what happened to his father and finish what his father started. Now, what can Ginta do exactly? Well, he's super strong, super fast, and super tough. Like I said earlier in the video, he's basically a new type of John Carter of Mars in a fantasy land. Like, he's 10 to 15 times stronger than normal and tougher than normal, right? He also doesn't need his glasses no more. His senses are superhuman now, so he can deal with pretty much light speed attacks, as well as earth-shattering techniques, right? But here's the thing, that's not the gist of it. See, in the world of Mar Heaven, there are people with these specific magical items called arms. These arms can take the form of anything really, be it a shovel, a necklace, or a sword. Ginta has one of these arms, a special arm called Babbo. Now, Babbo is a talking arms. It has a face, a mustache, nose, everything. It's a ball and chain together, right? With a little handle, ball and a cup chain handle thing. And with it, Ginta can smash his opponents. Use close or long range attacks, of course. He can even enlarge Babbo to be big as heck in order to hit opponents, and also increase the weight of his attacks, or make him small in regular size in order to have close range abilities, right? Babbo is special due to the fact that he can actually communicate with Ginta. He's one of the only arms that have actual sentience due to special circumstances. Also, Babbo can take in the souls of others, but that's not explained until later on. He also has special slots in his weird ball in a cup handle thing that can make him transform into various modes. But in order for him to transform, he needs magic stones to be put in, and you also have to visualize. Ginta has to visualize what that form will take. The first form that he has is the hammer arm. Babbo transforms into basically a metal ball gauntlet on the user's arm, Ginta's arm, where he is able to smash through objects. It's so strong and tough, it's able to destroy other people's magical arms. You know what I mean? And it's just a really good punching unit. You want to destroy something, you want to smack somebody, you use the hammer arm. His second form is the dagger arm. It looks just like the hammer arm, but instead the metal gauntlet has a long dagger on top of it instead of a giant metal ball. It's used for slashing and short range combat. With it, Babbo can slash and pierce things. In both modes, by the way, he can also talk telepathically to Ginta. The third form of Babbo, when he starts using the other extra magic stone slots, right, is the bubble launcher. Now, the bubble launcher turns into some kind of weird gun-like object that Ginta can use, and it can fire out exploding bubbles that are shaped like Babbo's head, and it's used for long-range techniques or cover fire. Next up is Ginta's most powerful form of Babbo, honestly, to date. Well, second to most powerful form is Gargoyle. See, Gargoyle is a giant, monstrous, gargoyle-looking form of Babbo with a ring in its mouth and a crystal legs, right? That has the ability to just fire out gigantic blasts of magic and force. It's so powerful, it's able to obliterate entire castles, maybe even mountains, depending on how much it charges up. Also, it's very strong physically and tough. Here's the bad part. Its drawback is that Ginta uses a lot of magic power when he uses it. Also, he has the risk of going completely insane and his mind breaking if he uses it too much. Next up is a beautiful form that Babbo turns into called Alice. See, Alice is a holy arm form where he becomes a beautiful angelic woman. Embarrassingly enough, Babbo doesn't like taking this form because he becomes a woman and he's man. But the arm itself, the form, is very useful since she can actually heal people and is also an effective counter against darkness type arms. She can also take away curses, so she's one of the most valuable forms that Babbo has. Next up is the form also known as cushion jelly. With it, a giant pudding surrounds Ginta. Babbo becomes the pudding. Any type of physical destructive technique or attack completely nullified by this thing. But the bad part is Ginta can't move during that time, but it's one of his, if not the best defensive form that he has. Puss in Boots is the next form that Babbo can turn into. He turns into, what do you expect? A cat with boots, with a knife in each boot and the ability to use other arms. Puss in Boots actually has 2 other arms with him that he can use. Fresh Bonito is basically a fish that he'd smack opponents with, and it does massive amounts of damage, surprisingly. And then the Mr. Replacer dolls, 3 of them. See, whenever Ginta gets hurt, attacked, or damaged, it can be automatically replaced with this doll. So it's like a substitution technique instead. Next up was something that was only one-time use, but I might as well at least say it right now. It's called Unification. See, he basically lights up Babbo, and Babbo uses his magic power, right, to put a soul that was in Babbo back inside its original body. And this soul was Ginta's dad, and he used Unification to put Ginta's dad's soul that was in Babbo back in Ginta's dad's body. Now there's this manga only form called the Reverse Gatekeeper Clown. It's basically the gate that took Ginta to Mar Heaven. Babbo turns into the gate, right, and it only allows a certain number of people to go through the gate. With it, he can go back to Earth and possibly vice versa, back to Mar Heaven. Last but certainly not least is the anime-only version of the gargoyle at the end of the series called the Omega Gargoyle. The Omega Gargoyle glows golden and is now powered by all the hopes and dreams of everybody in Mar Heaven to take out the big bad and the evil at the finale and stuff like that. Basically, it's a super strong version of the gargoyle. It went Super Saiyan. So yeah, that was Ginta, my boy, the original, well, the OG Isekai shonen hero. You know, everyone's forgotten about the man, but like I still remember him. Heck, Mar Heaven is still one of the best animes I've ever seen in my life. I love that anime, but everyone's forgotten about him. Ginta himself is like prime real estate for like versus battles and death battles and like discussions against other anime characters and stuff like that. It'd be so cool to see him more into discussions like that over the internet, because everyone seems to have forgotten about him. Anyway, that's all I have for my boy here. Tune in next time where I talk about another forgotten anime hero. Thanks, have a good one. Happy New Year, guys.